All right, good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's webinar, where we will explore one of the most rapidly advancing areas in the world of technology, such as mobile application development. Our focus will be on discovering key trends and gaining industry insights, which is an essential journey for anyone preparing to step into the digital world. As students preparing to enter or contribute to the technology industry, understanding these trends is essential and not only to stay current but also to anticipate future demands and challenges. In an era where smartphones have become nearly inseparable from our daily lives, mobile applications have transformed the way we communicate, learn, shop, travel, and work. This field has redefined convenience and connectivity, opening up immense opportunity for innovation, entrepreneurship, and career advancement. Today, we are especially honored to be joined by someone whose journey is truly inspiring. Queeness Sdn is the founder of a coding center for kids and teens in Malaysia, where she actively nurtures young digital minds. Holding a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology from the University of Malaya, she began her career as a microbiologist with Nestle. From microbiologist to coding trainer, Quincy has found her passion in programming and teaching, especially in mobile app development. In 2019, Quincy and her husband have started their own kids and teens coding program, My Young Coders, under the company QT Kidz Sdn Bhd. Since then, she has become a role model for aspiring educators and developers. Her creativity and dedication were internationally recognized when she won third place in the adult individual track of the MIT App Inventor Hackathon 2021. In 2022, she was selected by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology as a MIT expert trainer in educational mobile app development. That same year, she was named one of the Malaysia's influential educators by Majlis Tindakan Pengguna Negara. Most recently, in October 2023, she received the prestigious MIT App Inventor Teacher Excellence Award. Today, Quincy continues to conduct lessons not only at her own center and in schools, but also provide train-to-trainers program, empowering other educators with effective strategies to teach coding and digital skills to the next generation. Please join me in welcoming Quincy Stan she sa- shares with us the latest trends, tools, and insights shaping the exciting world of mobile app development. Let's give a warm welcome to Quincy Stan. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our moderator, Mr. Muhammad Ikmal Fahan, and very good evening to everyone here. Not I know not only students, yeah, but we also have lecturers here. Yeah, I'm very grateful to be given this chance, yeah, to share my knowledge to you all here. Um, thank you so much to Juan Shahira for the invitations. Yeah, so that I have the chance today. Please allow me to share my screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay, I share the screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? I'm mostly use Zoom for my online class and workshops. All right. Can I? Okay. So, okay. So, I think thank you very much for our moderator. A very clear introduction of myself. Yes, like Mr. Muhammad Igma says, I'm I have a degree in microbiology. Yeah, so I actually always tell my students, it doesn't mean that when you graduated at that degree, you will at the end up with that field. Yeah, especially for women, we need to be flexible. I actually, after joining Nestle, I actually stopped working for 6 years to become a full-time mom. Yeah, and after that, I had the chance to explore myself into programming. Is because of my husband. Yeah, because he has his another company, which is a software development house. Yeah, and we see the trend. The For kids to learn programming. It started much earlier at overseas, especially US. Yeah, they start teaching young kids on programming. Yeah, and even now in Malaysia, in our education syllabus, we also can see programming in our education syllabus. It started from standard 4. Yeah, Darjah 4. Then they will start learning Scratch programming, and then after that, standards 5 and 6, they will learn microbits. Yeah, so our government also see the needs that for kids to learn programming. That's why we started the center to start to teach programming. But actually, not only to kids and teens. My student for App Inventor, cause the oldest student I have is 70 years old, 70 years old lady who learn mobile app development. Yeah, and she also coming from medical line, life science. Yeah, life science line, like myself. Yeah, so it's actually very amazing when you learn about how you actually communicate to computer. You give instruction to computer. Yeah, and then after I explore in programming, App Inventor is one part that is most, I would say that attract me the most. Yeah, because you, without any computer science background, you actually can create a mobile app which is fully functional. It can be installed in your phone. Yeah, it can use like a fully functional app. Then that's why in 2021, I joined the competition every year. App Inventor also, they will have competitions. It's open to all the students globally. Yeah, anyone can join. It has different track for youth and for adult, whether team or individual. So in that year, I actually won third place. My project is actually because that year was 2021. If you all still remember, because of COVID lockdown, and that time there's a campaign which is the white flag campaign. You, if let's say you are suffering, you can actually put a white flag outside your house. When people see it, they will actually provide you with a goodie bags with the food inside. But it also came out in the newspaper that a lot of people, after they're receiving the food, they just throw in the dustbin. Yeah, behind the shop lots, they found a lot of those food are all haven't opened, is newly, and just throw like that. So it's a big waste. And that time, the trend is is about the waste of all these goodies bag. Actually, the person who donate all the goodies bag have a very kind heart. But the thing is, sometimes the people need something else. Yeah. For example, like if let's say they have growing up kids, they need clothes. When the clothes is getting too small, or women might need sanitary pads, or you need some medications. So that time, my idea is we should have an app which is connected to the local authority. So the people can, from the app, they can request what they need, whether it's for clothing, for medication, for stationaries, all the things that they need, they request specifically. So it will avoid wastage. Yeah. So that time, because in my presentations, so when in your presentations, it's either your schoolwork, or when you go to at the industry, when you need to present your projects, you need to state out the problem statement. So what are the problem or the trend? So I do put like in the newspaper or the news. So it's a need that time. Yeah, that's why when we come to mobile app developments, when your app can meet the trend or the needs, and then it is a useful mobile apps for people. Yeah. So after that, in year 2022, I took the expert training, and at the end I become the expert trainer, and then after that, I'm the actually the judge for the app inventor. Yeah, from a contestant, I become a judge. Yeah, until this year, it's been already 3 years. Yeah, I was one of the judge for the yearly hackathon events. All right. So, okay, app inventor. Why app inventor? Like I say, I mentioned just now, it's very beginner user friendly. Even though you do not need to have very strong computer science background, okay, because it's using drag and drop functions. So it's a block base. You do not need to memorize the syntax. You do not need to worry that you type the code wrongly. So you can focus on the logic of the app. So you and also the design of the app. So to make sure that your app is meeting the needs for the target user. And from there, you can also quickly set up the prototype in the app inventor, because there's a functions that you can connect your app with the AI companion for testing. But after you close the browser, the app is disappear from your phone. It's just for the testing purpose. And also it is very hands-on and project-based learning. And it doesn't involve a lot of theory, because you put in your commands and you scan the app, you can see, you can test whether it is working or not, and to see your logic is correct or not. So you can fully focus on the logic of the functions, the components that you put into your apps. And then also it also support IoT, yeah, like Lego Mindstorm or the microbits. If you know some of the microcontroller like Arduino, yeah, it also can be connected in the extensions. So to create apps with more functions, yeah. So it actually encourages us to be creative, to create the mobile apps which is useful for the user to tackle their problem. And then it's also is actually a industrial relevant skill, because from MIT App Inventor, you can transit to the Google Apps, okay, to use the Android Studio or the Flutter more easily, because you already learn the concept how you create mobile apps. Although mobile apps development using MIT App Inventor is using it is using the drag and drop functions, but it can be quite complexity, because in mobile app there are so many functions. Like you sometimes you need to create a project which is using the Firebase or the Cloud DB. Yeah, it can be quite complicated. Depends on the functions of the mobile apps. Yeah. So after you understand the logic, then when you transit to like the Android Studio, is much easier. Yes, because Android Studio is using the line-based programming. So the students already understand some fundamental in mobile app development. All right. And then also, yeah, like I mentioned, it introduced the back-end concepts like the APIs usage. So it's very useful for those industry apps, like using the Android Studio or Flutter. Okay, and also in App Inventor, it actually have a very strong community and the learning resources. I will share with you later. Meaning to say, if let's say you are creating a project in App Inventor, but you face some problem, you can actually search in the community to see whether people have posed such questions before, or you can also post questions in this App Inventor community to get help from the expert. All right. So now, I have request Puan Shahira to share a file to you all, because we're going to have some hands-on today, short projects, okay? Because we only have 2 hours, so I send the file, is a template, it's already have the design, so that we can go into the App Inventor and you all can have a feel on the App Inventor and to understand a bit more, because I understand that you all actually have an assignment, right? That you need to create App Inventor project. Yeah. So I hope from this workshop, the short online workshop part can help you all for your App Inventor projects. All right. So you all have the file already, right? You all received the file?
Yes.
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 All right, great. Okay, so now I will, okay, I suppose you all know the App Inventor website? Yes, okay, great. So now let's go to the App Inventor website. Okay. All right, so to go into the App Inventor, okay, some history of App Inventor, MIT App Inventor, it's actually, it's created by Google. And then after that, it passed to MIT to further develop this platform, because MIT is a university for mobile education. So that's why when you want to sign in, you want to create a project, you need a Google account. You can also use another way, but it will be quite troublesome, as in you will be given a code that if later you want to log into your project, you have to use the code, means you have to memorize the code. So the easiest way is to have a Google account. All right. So now to create the apps, so you can just click here, create apps. Okay. Okay. Then you come into here. Okay, so I will share with you all, if let's say you are doing a team project, like your friends already created the designer and you have to continue with the blocks. Okay, so your friends can actually from the project come to here, the top here projects, if you can see here. Okay, you click this project, and if you want to download into your computer, so you will choose this import the .aia file to export is okay, because I didn't open. Okay, let's say I open a project. Okay, so if I want to save this project, I open the project, then I can click export the selected project. So this project will be downloaded into your computer as a .aia file. All right, so this is how you download the project, and then you can send the file to your friends. Like just now, I shared the files to you all. Okay, so now you have to import the project that I sent to you into App Inventor, right? So you select this import project .ai from my computer. So the file is already in your computer, so you choose the file. All right, and then you can rename it before you import it. For example, your friend is the version 1, and after you do put in your parts, it will be version 2, so you can actually rename it before you import. Okay, then you click open and you click OK. Oh, okay, so you will be able to rename is already exists. Okay, so sorry, this, okay. Okay, so have you all come into the project, able to upload your project into your App Inventor? This will be the project looks like. Okay, maybe some of you already explore in this App Inventor. Okay, so these are the designer parts. Okay, these are the designer. And you can see the top upper right, there are 2 buttons here, designer and the blocks. So the blocks will be the area, the place where we put the commands, we program the functions of the component later. So in this part, okay, we can see here are in this palette here are the components that you can drag and put into your apps. Okay, so this is the mobile phone, the layout that you can see. All right, so in this project, this project is actually an app that allows you to record your daily meal expenses. All right, so the functions here, okay, there is a functions, is a button, okay, that allow you to click the button and the address, you get the address of the current address. So actually the design, okay, because for this app inventor, you see, if you look at the phone here, it's already come to maximum, but when you scan on your phone, you actually it have a bigger space. Yeah, it doesn't really reflect the real phone size. All right, so if you look at here, actually there is a button here, but it's just that because of the size, yeah, it's hidden. Okay, there's a button here. So whatever component you have put in actually is also appear at the component list here. This part, the component list, you can actually see all the component inside. All right, so the app is when you click the get location, the location sensor of your phone will display the address of your current location. And then the user need to just put in the amount that they spend in breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then a button to calculate. And here, whatever you put in, whatever the component you put into the phone and it is visible, means it's a visible component. But there are component that is not visible, meaning to say here we have the location sensor, which is not visible. Okay, but you have put it into this project. And also the TinyDB. TinyDB is for local storage. Okay, local storage. Why do we need TinyDB? Is because if you do not store the amount that you key in, after you close the app, later when you open, it will disappear from the app. So every time we have key, then you close the app. When you open the app again, the amount that you key in will be still there, still exists there. Okay, so these are the component. Okay, here if let's say in App Inventor, okay, you can see I use a lot of horizontal arrangement here. If you look at this project, so why you need the horizontal arrangement? Because if you want to put the component horizontally, you have to use this horizontal arrangement so that the component can be arranged horizontally. Of course, if you want it to be vertically, then you come to layout here. There is also the vertical arrangement. All right. So sometimes when you design the app, you have to scan and adjust the design because, like I mentioned just now, the size of the phone that you see here doesn't really reflect the real phone. All right. Okay, if now you want to see how it appear in your phone, okay, you can actually click this connect and use this AI companion. But of course, in your handphone, you need to go to your Play Store and download the AI companion, the MIT AI tool companion app. So in this app, you can, after you go in, you can use a scan QR code. As after you click the AI companion here, you will see a QR code, and then from the app, you just scan the QR code, and then you will see the app appear on the phone. But this is not installing. Yeah, it is just testing. The phone is not yet installed. Yeah, someone scan it. It's okay. Yeah, you can scan it. Okay. The changes is real time. All right, meaning to say, the student who scan it, you can see on your phone. Okay, now if I change the color here, now it's cyan color. If I change it to orange, it real time update in your phone, right? Whoever scan it, The student who scan it, right? You see the color change. Okay, so it's real time. So it's actually very user friendly. Okay, if you see the color doesn't match, sometimes when you see on your computer screen and you see on the phone is different. So you can make the changes. And it reflect on your phone real time. And also when you test the functions, okay, you click the button and see whether it's working or not. Okay, is real time. All right. Okay, so let's go to any questions here. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. Okay, no questions, then we will proceed to the blocks. Okay, here, why I select this app, because here will involve some user friendliness when we come into keying the amount. Yeah, when we come into keying the amount, there are some tricky parts here. Okay, let me change this back to 25. Okay, all right. So here the text box. Okay, the text box is where we allow user to key in text. But this text box, we actually can make it just for numbers only. At the properties here, okay, at the properties, you can see there is a numbers only where you can take it. Once you take these numbers only, means that when you focus, okay, on this text box, your phone keypads only come out number, only come out numbers. It won't come out the alphabets. Okay, only the numbers keypad will come out because it's only accept numbers. All right. Okay, and then also for total, okay, because we cannot play cheat, right? Okay, you cannot say that, hey, you spend, actually the total is more than 100, but you just manually key in. So the total is not for the user to key in, but is calculated. Okay, so for the total, there will be a read only. So you need to check the read only. Okay, you need to take the read only is for the total, the text box for the total amount. Okay, so the user is not able to key in anything there because it's just for read only to display the total amount after you click the button. All right, so for all these components, right, one thing very important is the good programmer practice. Okay, last time in the lab we have good lab practice. So here I always tell the student there's good programmer practice also, meaning to say to rename your component. Because if let's say you here you are doing the design, okay, but when you come to the blocks, okay, to put in the commands for your component, okay, if you do not rename your components, you will be seeing a lot of labels, a lot of text box, which you don't know which one is what. Okay, so it's very important that you label your component. For example, here I have button 1 and button 2 here, which I cannot know unless I click into the designer. Then I know, oh, this one I put the name on the designer. The button here is this one is calculate. Okay, this one is reset. Okay, so we can rename it. All right, for button 1, the button 1, you just click the rename. Okay, and it will show you the old name, and then you just need to put in the new name. Okay, so this is calculate. Okay, you can rename it. You can rename your button. And button 2, you select button 2 and you click rename, and this is BTN reset. So BTN is a short form for button. So when you put the BTN, you will know, oh, this is a button. All right. Okay, so this is just some basic practice. All right. Okay, so now we come to the blocks. We have to start program our apps, okay, according to the functions. Okay, so first for the buttons. All right, so you can find the buttons here. Okay, so the button location breakfast If you start to find from the top of the list, will be easier. Okay, these are the top, the colorful squares are the default blocks, default commands. Okay, it's given to you, and then it will be following by the components that you put in. Okay, followed by the components that you put in. For example, now we want to click the buttons. Okay, the user click the buttons, and the location, the current location will appear at the location here. Now it's unknown, okay, because you haven't get the locations. So here, now we come to here and we select the button location. So there are commands here. The events block is when, okay, when what, and then it's going to do something. Okay, so there are 3 different types of blocks. You can see it's different, differentiated by the color. Okay, the brown color, the light green, and the dark green. The light green is the input of this thing. It's going to join to something else, and the dark green is you are setting the properties of this component to something else. All right, so now we select this when button location breakfast click. Okay, when button location breakfast click. Okay, when we click this button, okay, we want to get the locations, right? And the location taken will be set into the location here, the text. Okay, if you are confused, okay, if you are confused, you can always come back to your designer and click at this part. Oh, I need to put the address here. So you click on this part, you will see it highlighted at your component list. Okay, this is the text breakfast location. Text breakfast location. Okay, so if you are confused, okay, you can always come back to the designer. So this one, the text breakfast location. So we are setting its text. We are setting this component's text. So we take it out and we select text. Okay, we select text, and then where the input come from, the input for this text, it has to come from our location sensor, right? Because when you click, you will call the location sensor to get the location. So you go to the location sensor, the non-visible component usually at the very bottom. Okay, usually at the very bottom. All right, and then you click this location sensor. Okay, can find the location sensor, and then you scroll down. Okay, the current address, location sensor 1 current address. Okay, and then you join into here. All right, and remember I mentioned just now, we need to save all these informations that we put into the app, the locations and the amount. So now you need to get TinyDB to save it, to store the value. Okay, so we go to TinyDB, the purple color commands. Okay, these are the procedure. The purple color means procedure, or you call it functions. Okay, you call it functions. So store value. All right, store value. So I always make it more easier for students to understand. So it's like a container. You know, you need to put a label, put a tag. What is this thing that I store inside? Okay, so the tag will be telling you the things that you store inside. All right. So for the tag, we need to go to our. We go up and we go to our text. Okay, we go to our text, and then you scroll up the first blocks, the string, okay, a text string. So you take it out and you can join to the tag, okay. So you can put your location, breakfast, all right, and then the value to store. So what are the things that you want to store in this container? So of course, what you want to store is the location breakfast text, the address. All right. So you go to the text location, the breakfast location, and when you take the green blocks, you can select the properties that you want to set here. Okay, the text. The things that you need to store is the text. So Of course, there are source code behind all these blocks, but in this way, it making people very easily to understand the logic. Okay, very easily to understand the logic. So here is when the button location click, then it will set the button location text to the current address from this location sensor. And then you need to call the TinyDB to store value. All right. And then when you store a value, you have to put a tag and tell it what is the value to store. All right. Okay. So same thing, all right, for the amount. Okay, for the amount. All right. So we need to put in the amount, okay, and we have to store it into the TinyDB also, okay. So actually, when the user key in the amount, you doesn't need to do anything. You only need to do something when the user leave this text box. So the commands, okay, to ask it to store the amount is actually when the text box lost focus, when it is lost focus, okay. So the text breakfast amount lost focus means from here you go to somewhere else, okay, lost focus, okay. So when you lost focus, you ask it to store. You just need to ask it to store the value so that you don't lose it when later you open the app again. Okay. So you store value and the tag, all right? Empty tag string. Okay. So you can put this amount breakfast. Okay. And the value to store. What is the value to store? The value to store is the text box text, right? The amount that you put into the text box text. Okay, but here normally I will let the student try to complete all the lunch and the dinner because it's the same logic. Okay, it's the same logic for the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner. All right. And then, okay, you can try putting it yourself later. Okay, so when we come to getting the total, you need to click the button calculate. You need to get the button calculate. Okay, so we go to the button calculate. The near the bottom is follow your designer arrangement. Okay, so when the button calculate, click. All right. So we have to do the calculations, right? And the result will be displayed at your total text box here, the total text box. Okay. So when you click the button, you are actually setting the text. Okay. You are setting the text for this text total amount. Okay, we are setting the text. Right, when you click the button, you are setting the text. Okay, so how do we set the text? Is by adding it, right? So we have to go to math. We have to go to math and take this plus, the add formula. There's a plus, minus, multiple, and divisions. Okay, so we need the plus. But we have three amount, right? Okay, because you do not know the user, maybe it will skip the breakfast, it just key in for the lunch and dinner. Okay, so you need to, every time when you add, you need to add all three. Okay, you need to add all three. Okay, so this one, we just follow one by one, the breakfast, lunch, and then dinner. Okay, so you can actually duplicate. You just right click at the blocks you want and you just select duplicate, you will get the blocks. And if you duplicate again, you actually, if it is the same component, for example, this is text box, you can actually get other text box here. All right, so lunch, and then if you right click, duplicate, and then you get dinner. So what you need to add is your breakfast amount, lunch amount, and your dinner amount tax. Okay. All right. And don't forget, you need to store it also. Because maybe after your breakfast and lunch, you already start calculating the total. You want to know, oh, how much more I can spend. You know, after breakfast and lunch, I already spent 50 ringgit. So you can actually click the total anytime, right? So you will have to store it also. Okay, you store it as well. So here, also call TinyDB store value, but in a different tag because like a different container. Okay, different part in the TinyDB. So this one, you can put the amount total. Right? So this will be your total amount. Okay, but here there is something tricky. Okay, normally I will ask student to test and then to find the problem because one thing interesting in programming is troubleshooting. Okay, troubleshooting, and sometimes when you test it, you cannot find the problem. You ask other people to test, they will find the problem for you. Okay, so normally I will ask students to test. They would usually get a problem when the text box is empty, because when the text box is empty, it get nothing to add, so it will give you error. Okay, it will show you an error that it cannot calculate. Okay, it cannot calculate. So here means we cannot leave it to empty. When you have no number, you have to always have a zero there. Okay, you have to always have a zero there. So means here that in the text box, you can actually just add in the text from your designer. Okay, for example, if you put 0.00, okay, you can always put in the number from the designer. Okay, so if there is no value, you cannot leave it blank. If you leave it blank, it will have problem when you do the calculations. Okay, so if you put 0, okay, and if you want to be very user friendly, okay, normally for amount, it will align to the right because of the decimal point. Okay, because of the decimal point, it's easier for you to see is 10 or hundreds. Okay, so you can actually do the setting at your this designer properties also. All right, so later you can play around. Okay, so now when come to here, if let's say you can try to scan it. Okay, if you have a 0 here, okay, you can try to scan it. You have a 0 here. When you want to key in a value, you need to remove the 0. You get what I mean? You already have a 0 here. Imagine you are putting in into your phone. Okay, you already scan it. All right. Now it's always a 0 because we must always put a 0 there. Otherwise, you cannot calculate. You will have error if you leave it blank. But as a user, every time when I want to key in an amount, I need to remove the 0 first. Isn't it very troublesome? Right? We have to always think from a point of a user. Okay? So that's why to make it more user-friendly, okay, we have to tell it, okay, when it got focus, if it is a 0, remove the 0. Okay? So now, just now we put it lost focus, right? When you leave the text box. So now we have to go to the amount got focus. Okay, got focus. Okay, when the breakfast amount got focus, okay, you have to do a checking. All right, you do a checking, control, if then. Okay, you need to check if, all right, if it is a 0, then clear it. Okay, if it is a 0, then you need to clear it. So you need to go to the logic and you take equal. Okay, So you have to check if this breakfast amount, okay, if your breakfast amount tax is equal to 0, okay, then you set your amount tax. Okay, you set your breakfast amount tax to empty tax string. So with this, when the user go to the text box, if it is a 0, it will clear it. Means that you do not need to remove the 0. The app would, when you focus, if its check is a 0, it will clear it for you, and you can straight away type the amount. Let's say you spend 10 ringgit, you just type 10. So this is to tackle the user friendliness, okay, and also to avoid that you have the syntax problem, because it cannot add empty text string. All right. Okay. So sometimes we have to think also. Okay. Sometimes I got focused, I go to the breakfast amount, but then maybe I click it by accident. I have nothing to key in. I want to key in lunch, but I accidentally go to the breakfast. So I got nothing to key in. Not every user will leave it a 0 before leave the breakfast amount. Not, you cannot ask the user every time. If you didn't key anything, you have to put a 0. No one will going to do that, right? So we have to make it automatic also. Okay, means that when it lost focus, okay, so you have to tackle this part also. When it lost focus, okay, you have to let it know. If it is empty, means that you go to the text box by accident, or you decided not to key in now because you haven't finished your breakfast, you're going to buy more things, then you leave the text box. If it is empty, it will give you a 0. Okay, so now we go to lost focus. Okay, we will continue again lost focus. You have to remember, in this App Inventor, you cannot have two same events blocks. Meaning to say, I already have a when breakfast amount lost focus. I cannot add another when breakfast amount lost focus here. Okay, so to be simple for student to understand, okay, is you cannot ask the person to do two things at the same time. Okay, so the breakfast amount lost focus, if I take out, you will see there's error here, because you cannot have the events at the same time but doing different things. Like I cannot tell you, after this sharing talk, go mama have your supper, or after this talk, go to library. You cannot at the same time do two different things. So when you have the same events, it will give you error. Okay, so you have to remove one. Okay, so you have to continue from this events blocks. Okay, so same, you do a checking. Okay, just like just now when it got focus. Okay, so you check if, okay, I bring it down. Okay, yeah, the checking. Okay, it's very similar. It's just that just now is if it is a 0, leave it blank, but now is if it is blank. All right, if it is empty text string, then we will set the breakfast amount to 0. If you understand the logic, it is very straightforward. It's very straightforward. The reason why we need to do this checking, if whether it's a 0, you need to put an empty text string, or if it's an empty text string, you need to put it at 0. Because if you leave it as empty text string, when you calculate the total, you will have problem. You cannot leave it as empty text string. Okay? Any questions so far? I'm very much focused on the workshop part. Is there any message? Maybe. Okay. Okay. All good, huh? All can understand the logic? Yeah, it's not difficult to understand the logic. That's why I say it's very beginner user friendly. So from here later, when you all go to the Android Studio or Flutter, at least you know the logic, and then you just focus at the your commands in the line, okay, the line based JavaScript or yeah any programming language, okay. All right. So, yeah, you can try it. Okay, you can test it by scanning. Okay, by scanning the connect the AI companion here. Yeah, all of you can maybe try to scan it. Of course, we haven't finished. And when you try, you can try also when you scan already, you close it, you open again. If let's say at the first time you key in the breakfast, when you close and you scan again, your breakfast is still there because it's already stored in your local storage, your phone local storage. And of course, we haven't do the reset. Yeah, but reset is very is very straightforward. Ah, okay. Sorry. Uh, to show the to show the TinyDB the get value. Okay. Sorry, I forgot one thing. That you open, you need to see the whatever you store, you want to put back into, like for example the breakfast amount or the lunch amount. You need to have this command. When screen initialize, you go to screen 1, which is this particular screen, okay, and you can get an events block, which is when screen 1 initialize, okay. So when screen 1 initialize, we have to call the value, get the value from TinyDB, then only you can see. Okay, so when you get the value, where you want to put the value, where you want to set all this value, okay, so basically you need to set to, for example, like your breakfast locations, okay, you need to set it text, okay, and you have your breakfast amount, okay, set your breakfast amount text. So these are the two that we have completed. So I just put these two. Of course, you have your lunch and breakfast that lunch and dinner that you also need to put in. Okay, then you go to TinyDB, get value. Okay, get value. So the value you get from TinyDB will be the input for your breakfast location text. So of course, when you want to get value, you have to go back to the same container to get the value, right? So just now, your breakfast location, the tag, you have to follow the same tag to get the value back. Okay? So this one is value if tag not found. Meaning to say, if I haven't go into the dinner, means there is no such tag because I haven't clicked into the dinner. So it will be blank. But if you want to put unknown, like the initial, okay, you can just put unknown for your location. Okay, and then here for the breakfast amount, okay, for the breakfast amount, same, you call TinyDB, get value, but remember the tag, okay, although this is very beginner user friendly, but it's still very details, as in the tag. If let's say you have a space behind here, and without a space, the tag is considered different. Okay, you know programming, right? It's very, it's very specific. Okay, the capital letter L and the small letter L is make a difference. They are different. Okay, they are different. Capital letter L and small L with a space or without space is different. Okay, so all these programming law, okay, the rules is still apply here. Okay, so you have to be careful the tag lah. Okay, the tag that you use. So normally I will ask the student to avoid typo error or anything. Okay, to avoid any mistake, then you just duplicate it to put in. Okay, but of course, if let's say for the breakfast amount is, let's say for the amount, if the tag not there, we will put a 0. Okay, we will put a 0. Okay. You can put the 0 from here. Okay, and put it 0. All right, so with this, you will be able to see the amount that you saw. So now you can try, you put in the amount, and then when you disconnect the AI companion and you log in again, you will still see the amount that you key in just now, because it's called from your local storage, your TinyDB. Okay. So for the reset, of course, after you have put in your lunch and breakfast, because the logic is the same, you can just try to do it yourself. Apply the same thing for the lunch and the dinner. Okay, it's the same logic. And then for the resets, yeah, the reset is very straightforward. Okay, if let's say after you key in anything, okay, this is a very simple app because we have limited time. If you click the reset, yeah, you just reset your breakfast locations. Okay, you just remove it, and then you just put it to unknown. Okay, and this one, okay, you just remove it, and then you just put to 0 when you click reset. Okay, the reset is very straightforward. And but one thing is when you reset, okay, you have to also clear your TinyDB. Clear your TinyDB. So you can go to TinyDB. Okay, that is one clear all. Every time when you click reset, it will clear your TinyDB. So of course, this is very simple app because we have limited time. Of course, you can make it like it's a financial app. You can track your records. You know, you can in another page, in another screen, you add into your like daily expenses, then weekly expenses, and you can even put into more category like for meal, for your transportations. Yeah, it can be extend, okay, to a more complicated app. But of course, this is just a beginner level app. All right. Any questions so far? All doing well? Okay. Feel free to
Well,
ask. Okay, good. Then we continue, okay? Because this is okay. This is just for you all have a try on this one simple project. Okay. So next we will be moving into how we actually start an app by using a method. Okay, by using a method. Okay, so in App Inventor, okay, in App Inventor, we will be using the design thinking process methodology. Okay, this is a solution-based approach, okay, to solve problem. There are 5 stages in this design thinking process. All right. So when you want to create a project, okay, so all right, your projects can be project for the social good, okay, for a certain society, certain like area or your campus, you know, or it's for a business, okay, for industrial app. All right. The process is about the same. Okay. The first stage is empathize. Okay, you have to understand the needs of your target user. Okay, it can be, for example, if let's say a community area. Okay, your targets, you are solving a problem for certain target user like elderly. Okay, or it's an industrial app. Who are the target user? The accountants, you know, or the operators in the manufacturing line. So you need to gain understanding from them, okay, by involving maybe interview them, okay, or find out, do some research to find out more information on that area, okay, interview them to get the informations, their concern, or even involved in the physical area to get yourself involved and know more about the situations. All right, and this will allow you to get the whole pictures, okay, from this empathize stage, the stage one. And then from there, after you gather all the observations, okay, you will start to find the core problem, okay, find the core problem from your observation, and you have to analyze all the informations, and then to get the real problem. Because sometimes if we are outsider, just by what we think, it might not be the problem. That's why I always tell students, you do not create an app which uh, you are not at the place and you don't see the user. For example, like you telling me, teacher, I want to create an app for the North Pole people. They have this problem, but you know you are not at the North Pole. North Pole, you cannot go to the North Pole, or you cannot interview the people there. Everything is just based on your assumptions. Okay, that will be very different. Okay, so if you want your app is really uh, serve the purpose for the user, this part is very important. You need to understand the whole situations, the how the user feel, you know, and what what is their concern. Yeah, even in the industrial also the same. All right, and then after you get all the informations, then only you can define the problem as per the user point of view, the user experience. Okay, and then after that, you come to the idea, means to get the idea. After you know the core problem, okay, you interview the people, you know how the whole situations. So the team have to sit down and brainstorm. There are many methods that you can use, okay, for example, like brainstorming or the mind mapping, all right, or the story boarding, for you to try to find out the possible solutions, okay, the possible solutions. Actually, there is a worksheet for this design thinking process to develop the app inventor mobile app. Later, I can share this with you all. So at every stage, what you actually do. So at the idea, actually, you can list down as many solutions as possible. Some maybe is the worst solutions, because sometimes from the worst solutions, it lead you to, you know, fling, you get another idea for the better solutions. Okay, so you need to list down all the possible solutions at this stage, and then after that you have to uh, you have to take a paper and draw. You have to take a paper and draw the app as per your solutions, because in the idea you have all the solutions, and you know from the solutions what are the component is required for the solutions. Like, okay, if let's say you want the app to be able to track the location of the persons, so you need a button that can show the location, the address, like just now, and then a button to share the address. Okay, so from your these solutions, you'll know that what are the components that's required. Okay, so maybe I can share with you all this from here. Mm, okay, I'll share. Okay, can see. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is the prototype that you can draw. You can draw on a paper for the prototype before you put into the app inventor. Means you just draw your things on the paper first, and then at this stage you can go back to the target user, or you can interview. You can use this prototype to show to some of the people who is outside your team, who are not in your team, but you have to share with them the problem statements, and then show them your this prototype and get their inputs, whether it's good or bad, okay, to help you to improve your prototypes. So the person who involved, it can be the target user, okay, and some people who are not in your team. Of course, the people who in your team also can, but they are the one who create this app. You know, sometimes they are, when you are in the loop, you are not able to see the problems, okay, or some other things to improve. Sometimes you let people test it, you'll be surprised that they actually see some of the problem that we've been doing it, but we are not able to see. Or sometimes they can provide you a better idea uh, how to improve, or what other things that is required for the app, actually, especially the target user. Okay, so this one is you can draw the app, and then after that, uh, after this stage, then only you put your components into the app inventor. You go to the app inventor, put the component, and also program all the functions, until you have your product, the apps, and then you let the user to test the app. When come to this part, is the app is already completed, where the user can test on the phone. Yeah, can test on the phone. And you, at this stage, you can try to let as many people as possible to test your app, because like sometimes we always see some updates in the apps, because there are things that, you know, the way that we use the app, we are the one who create the apps, so we know how to use the app. And sometimes some of the problem, you are not able to trigger the problem, because you know how to use it. But when you ask someone else who don't know about this app, they will try many things. They'll try many other things where it triggers some bugs, okay, where you need to fix the bugs. So at this stage, when you have your product done, you have to try to get as many people as possible to test your app. And after testing, the team have to sit down again, okay, to discuss what are the things that need to improve. Sometimes it can be go back to the ideas. For this design thinking process, it can be non-linear, meaning to say it doesn't mean that it need to be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it can be in one, after one, and then you start to have idea. You start to have some people in the group come into the idea stage. You know, after an empathize, you start to come out with the idea. You know, it can be non-linear. And then after testing, you might need to go back to your idea, to maybe the user will tell you, hey, your app, no, it's not solving my problem. These functions, after this function, I still facing this problem, you know. So the team have to go back to the idea stage to come up with better solutions for the apps. So it can be go back to the idea, and then again after idea, then prototype, and then test again. Yeah. So this is the worksheets. So you interview your user, understand their experience or feelings, okay, and then you write down during the interview, and then you define the problem, okay, and then the idea lah, the brainstorm idea, select the idea, the most sensible, it can be the most fun, the craziest, okay, you just as many idea as possible, and then later only you zoom in to to the idea, the solutions that you want to put into your apps. Okay, so yeah, this is a methodology that we use to create app in this MIT App Inventor. All right. Okay, so for this part, any questions? For the design thinking process, I'm not sure whether you learned the design thinking process in your course. Yeah, maybe you have already learned this. Yeah, but now is how to put it into the app development by using MIT App Inventor. Basically, the concept is to follow the traditional process, design thinking process lah. Okay, no question? Oh, very good. Doing well. Okay. Oh, and someone got lost already. I hope no. I can understand. Or am I moving too fast? Then feel free to let me know. Okay. All right. Okay. So now, all right. I come back to here. Okay. Actually, sometimes I prefer the physical workshop and talk because I can see the student face expression. Then I know that whether they understand or I need to slow down. Yeah, and I quite enjoy teaching in the big lecture hall. Sometimes I went to private college, yeah, to give workshop also. Yeah, so I get to step into the nice big lecture hall. Those lecture hall only usually only in university or yeah the college. Yeah, if I go to school, the primary school or secondary school, then just in classroom only. Yeah. Okay, so all right, next. Okay, so next is the. It seems like now only we go into the key the key main title in this workshop. But after one Shahira told me that you all actually have a assignment on this element, I actually think that then the the previous part that I have went through with you all just now in the past 1.5 hours is more important because you will be able to do your project. But when you are doing your project, actually, you can go into the MIT App Inventor. There are some sample tutorial, but of course, I believe that your project will need to, uh, like, the purpose of your project. What is the meaning and the use of the project? You might not able to find one project is really meets your needs for the project, but you can find the idea or how to program some functions here and there lah, in the MIT App Inventor. All right. If let's say you face any problem, like I say, you can always go to the community to chat with the expert there. Yeah, if you face any problem, there are many functions that you can use in App Inventor. Okay, for example, maybe we come back here. Okay, we come to the designer, so you can see all the components. So there are many functions you can use, as we can see from the components here. Okay, the components here. The web viewer normally, if let's say you need to use like a Google Map, okay, or some other function that link to internet, then you need this web viewer, and you can open all this drawer to see what are the components inside here. You can even have a map, okay, like you are creating a tourist map, okay, yeah, and charts like you from just now the meal expenses app, you want to extend it into a financial app that can show you your weekly or monthly expenses and present in a chart. Okay, so actually there are many uh, functions that you can develop for your app, right? There are also extension, meaning to say you can find the extensions, you can import the extensions. Sometimes you can find from the community also for the extension. For example, if let's say we want to uh, send the email instead of using um, the activity starter, we can use SMTP. Yeah, but that one we need the extensions. Okay, so this will be more advanced, more advanced app. All right. Okay. So now we come back into here. Okay. Discovering key trends and industry insights. Okay. Sometimes depends on your app. Okay, is whether it's a community app, okay, for certain function for the community or is for the industry, okay, the industry needs. For the industry needs, sometimes some company, because we actually have another company, which is a software development house, they will ask, the customer will come and say, oh, I want to develop one app for my business, okay, but we will normally like our design thinking process, we will interview them. Okay, why do you need an apps? Okay, what are the problems that you find that you need an apps? So sometimes because besides apps, actually there is another option which is the web application. We have web application and mobile app applications. But as we know, mobile app applications, okay, for App Inventor, if you use, if you install the app or you test the app in the Android phone, okay, 100% no problem, okay. But iOS, it depends on app because there are two different systems, right? iOS, the Apple, okay, Apple phone. So some of that you can install, depends the functions in your app. And now we even have the third one, a Huawei app. That's why sometimes you see some of the app, for example, I have this Hong Leong Bank app, and then they have some upgrade of the app, and then they told me, sorry, it doesn't support Huawei anymore. Okay, so I need to use a physical token. So now for app development, you actually the app need to for three different systems: Huawei, Android, and also iOS. So sometimes we will ask the customer, do you actually really need a mobile apps, or you can use a web applications, and also how, because the cost to build the app will be quite different from the web applications. Yeah, and whether how many user. If let's say you create an app which is support three system, but your user actually not much. Your user is very small. It's unlike like KFC and McDonald's, their user is a lot in whole Malaysia. The outlets that they have the total customer, the user that they have is very big. But if let's say a small company, sometimes it might be not so not so in the cost wise. Okay, is we will advise them whether from their needs, whether they actually need to use a mobile app for their uh, for their functions or not. Okay, all right. So here come to the key discovering the key trends. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, in nowadays. Okay, we have to stay competitive. Okay, because if let's say you are creating something is out of the trend, is outdated, okay, basically the app is like no user, okay, nobody is going to use it because it's something that's already outdated. All right, that's why um, for the app that I create, it because at the moment there is a need, there is this problem that we need to solve it. Okay, so if you see the needs, the trend, then you you will become more competitive. All right, and then also the innovations opportunities. If we are up to that, we know what is the current trend, and it's actually from there it give you a spark on what are the things that it can be coming out from the trend that you see. Okay, and of course for the career growth, when you are when you talk to your boss or businessman, the business partner, when you know the trend, and people will see you differently, because people know that, oh, you are actually keeping yourself up to what is happening now. Okay, and sometimes from there also, you will be getting the idea for some new business idea. Yeah, which is entrepreneurships for yourself. Yeah, you are a programmer, but the programmer can start uh, the new business also. Okay, programmer doesn't mean that you just sit down and write program. And now even in the educations, right? Yeah, I always told my student, actually, um, you learning computer science, or yeah, the IT related course, doesn't mean that you will be the one who just sitting there and write the programs. You can be educators, you can be teachings, or you can, from your knowledge there, you become an entrepreneur, become a boss, yeah, to uh, find more business idea, okay, from your professional field. All right, wait. Oh, sorry. It's suddenly, okay. I think I need to reshare. Okay. It suddenly stop sharing my screen. Okay. Oops. Okay. Still sharing. Okay. So let's look at the current global trends, okay, across the industries now. I believe that on technology, all of you can see now is on AI, okay, on AI, the digital transformation, even in manufacturing line also, there are many automations, okay. So in mobile apps also, um, now even MIT App Inventor, the previous time their competition is always community app. But in these 2 years, the MIT App Inventor team, their competition team is about AI, because they want the student to explore more on AI. So yeah, the key trend uh, now is AI. As you can see, after ChatGPT came out, and there are more and more, and the autonomous car. Okay, so now the key trend for technology is the AI lah. Okay, so if you are trying to create apps that you want the apps to up to date, or when people see it will be, oh wow, yeah, this is app that is uh, uh, follow the trend. So applying the AI components in your app. Yeah, and also sustainability and green economy. Now we can see in some of the competitions, not some, I would say a lot, especially those competition in Malaysia. Okay, it's talking about sustainability, because the SDG, the sustainability development goal, the 18 goal is whole world, worldwide. It doesn't just involve the renewable energy is in every part, is every part. Is also talking about the fair or not, whether to get educations, the global warming problem, the food wastage. So is a whole problem that the earth is facing, and the green economy, of course. So these are the trends that we can see. All right. And then another one is the healthcare, because now everybody is talking about health. How to, because like we can see the cancer, you know, and the sickness like the infectious disease like COVID. Yeah. So healthcare and biotechnology is also one of the uh, current trend. Okay. And then consumer behavior and e-commerce, because now after COVID, actually it changed a lot for e-commerce. A lot of, especially it make people more easily accept, for example, like online shopping or using e-wallet. If let's say without COVID, all this will come much later. But because of COVID, people want to avoid the physical contact. So the money, because passing from one person to another person is considered very non-hygienic. So people will more willing to use e-wallet. If otherwise, if there's no COVID, a lot of people still cannot accept e-wallet, as in I'm not bringing. Now you can actually, like, if you forgot to bring your wallet out, you feel nothing. But if you forgot to bring your phone out, you're like unsecure. You're like, I have no money, or like even you want to pay a parking, because now we pay parking from an app. You cannot pay a parking. So now the phone is very important. So COVID actually fasten up the process that we accept the digital technology. Not only e-wallet, like online shopping also. Last time maybe a lot of people, they still prefer to go to the shopping mall to buy things, but now they will more prefer online shopping. Like you got voucher, or people just send to your home. You do not need to carry the heavy things home. Yeah, so it fastens the e-commerce. Yeah, even like TikTok, you can have TikTok shop. Yeah, the live selling, people selling thing on live. Actually, the business is very very good. Before COVID, um, it's not so much, but after COVID, is a big spike. All right, okay. So then, how do we actually track the industry trends or the key trends that in our society, okay, or our country? So sometimes the data source is very important. Like, of course, you have to always keep yourself up to date. Okay, the news, the reports, okay, the tech platform like the Google Trends, the LinkedIn, all right, and then the networking that you can have, and then the digital trend analysis tools, for example, like the TikTok analysis or the Facebook Insight. All this you can get actually what is the current trend, okay, that you can see in the market on this e-commerce part. All right, and also one thing is very important also to engage with the industry expert lah, like follow the leaders in the LinkedIn or Twitter. Keep yourself up to date, and also some professional network. If let's say you are graduated, you go out to work already. Yeah, don't just keep yourself in the office. You have to go out to see people, to know the current trends, because sometimes when you interview people, you get the information from their mouth, right? So yeah, these are the different way that you can keep yourself up to date to follow the industrial trends lah. Okay, so yeah, it's right. Okay, so we I have been talking a lot, so I think it's very important that I hear from your um, from your parts. Like if you have any questions, I actually open to with questions, because it's not only I alone talking. Maybe you have questions on MIT implementer or the process thinking or the industry trends part. So feel free to throw the question to me. Actually, to know the industry trends, there are many ways. Sorry, let me see in the chat. Maybe some of you shy, you can put your question in the chat box also. For your assignment, is a open team or there's a team? Okay, if you want to know the trend, the key trend, you can like find one field, for example, healthcare. You can give yourself one small assignment. Okay, select one industry, and find the trend for that industry. For example, like car, automobile. Okay, and you go and find what is the current trend for automobile or healthcare. Okay, if you select healthcare, then you go and find the trend for the healthcare. So of course, different industry will have their own their, their trend. Different industry have their trend. But currently, the most hot topic in that industry trend is, like I mentioned, the four just now. Yeah, the technology, the AI, healthcare, the e-commerce. Okay. Hard to learn doing. Actually, okay. Depends on where you start from. Actually, I find it easy because I start from very basic. I start from blocks, and also the commands are in English, which I can understand, and which just dragging the commands. If let's say, because I'm from life science background, if let's say you ask me to start to learn from programming language, even Python. Python is actually most easy to pick up. But if you ask me to learn from Python, have to type, have to understand the logic, as in how do we give commands to computer, and also to memorize some of the syntax. It will be very stressful for me. But I learn programming in a very comfortable way, as in because I learn from the block base. I understand the fundamental of programming first. I have something to share. We do take internship student. So we have internship student. They come and then they exposed to those block-based programming like Scratch and MIT. And one day, one student told me, Miss Queeness, after I learned all this block-based programming, surprisingly, I go back and look at my lecture notes. I can understand, or last time I don't understand. Sometimes programming is when you learn the theory, it's like you understand. But when the lecturer asks you to do tutorial, you stop. You like, cannot apply it because, yeah, programming you need hands-on. That's why every method is very hands-on. So you straight away you apply, you write the commands, and you know whether you write it correct or not. And the troubleshooting actually will give you very great satisfaction, because once you solve the problem, you're like, oh yes, you're able to solve the problem. So that's why Implementer is actually a very good platform for us to go into the real programming, as in using the line-based programming like JavaScript or Pythons. If you have the good fundamental, the foundations, that is really, it will be much easier when you go into the line-based programming. Yeah. So I also very happy that I helped the intern student that, oh, actually, he told me that after he learned all this block base, he started to understand the logic. And then when he looked back at all the line-based programming, he can understand, oh, actually, yeah, now finally he understand the logic behind. Yeah. Because when you use line-based programming also, it's actually teaching you how you communicate to the computer. I always tell my student and my parents, actually, you learning programming is a communication. Actually, programming is a communication, but you are communicate to a computer who has no brain. I always tell my student, maybe I'm very bad. I say, actually, we always think that computer is very smart, can do a lot of things. Actually, computer is very stupid one because it cannot think. It have no brain. It's just follow the instruction given by the programmer. So the smartest is the programmer. Without the programmer put in all the commands, the computer is nothing. And if you give a wrong command to a human, just now I mentioned that it's a communication. But if we give a wrong command to a human, we will use our experience, our knowledge that's already in our brain. We will self-correct the instruction. Like if I ask a person to walk forward, okay, it walk, it see something, it will stop. Because in his experience that if he bang onto it, it will get hurt. But if you program a robot, if you didn't put the conditions that, oh, if you scan the things you have to stop, then it will just bang through it because the command is not given. But when you give commands also, you have to think, oh, if the robot is moving at the speed of like very fast, like 100 kilometer, no, 50 kilometer per hour, okay, very fast. Then you want it to stop. You cannot straight away set to 0. And that's the difference also. When you talk to human, you are using language, but computer doesn't use language. It's use data. When you want it to move, you set speed to what speed? You want it to stop, you set speed to 0. But with a speed straight away to 0, in physics, what happened? It will fall down because momentum. So that's why from all these simple things that you actually learn the very fundamental of programming. And it's a lot of time it's involved mathematics, physics, all this also. But you learn how to communicate with computer by applying, using the data and then applying the physics. You learn how to develop apps, and then from there, the whole understanding you know on programming, later you apply it to a higher level, is much easier. Yeah. Okay. So, what advice will you give the student looking to build career in mobile app development? Yeah, mobile, because okay, if we look at the the app that you have in your phone, okay, we actually use many apps, especially after COVID, okay, and even like school in educations. Uh, Maybe your university, you also you have an app that allows student and the lecturer to use the app for some updates, like for results or attendance or all this. So actually, there are a very big opportunity in the app development. Yeah, as now, for example, like in medical, okay, they are also using the mobile apps. Is actually not limits to any field, as long as you find the needs for the user to use the app. But sometimes the app, it can be not only for this small group of user. It can be uh, share, okay, but is specific to a certain groups, but they are using the same app, but specific to certain groups. Yeah, so it's kind of like some ready-made, but it's catered to different group. For example, community. If let's say you are staying in a housing area with a guarded housing area. Yeah, they have this app for the housing area for the visitor to come in and out. Okay, that it can be an app for different housing area, but they are still using the same app, but their user is a lot. Yes. So yeah, I hope after this you all can try to explore yourself, because app inventor for young kids, maybe for secondary school student, they need more uh, guidance. Yeah, but normally if I give workshops to college students or university students, um, because the logic, because the logic is very straightforward. It's normally it's not difficult for you all to understand the logic behind. For secondary school students, maybe we still need to give them more real life example. Yeah, but for university student, and especially like student from science com, so it's much easier for you to understand the logic, and you can go into the app inventor, go and explore to more the tutorial app to learn more functions, and from there you can build your own app and then try to understand the logic in app inventor. As I mentioned, because the mobile app, it can involve many different functions, like an app for catalog, the catalog, the food, you go to a restaurant, the catalog, or allow you to place order online. Yeah, that would be using a different component. You need the cloud storage or Firebase, or you can even uh, use create app integrated with ChatGPT or chatbot. Yeah, you can try to explore, and yeah, your assignment. Try to explore more apps for your assignment. So you are given how long to do your assignment. There's a given team. So far, how many of you think app inventor is? I think you all will think that it is easy. Yeah, it's actually not difficult, but it depends on the components, the complexity of your app. Some of the app that we do is very complex. Yeah. For example, actually recently, we teach in primary school. One of our primary school student at Seremban, actually based at Seremban, they got fifth place at the peringkat negeri for their app. So their app is community app, because at the area, their community area, uh, is a place, is one commercial place. It always cannot find parking. You go round and round, cannot find parking. So the students, that's why I also encourage students to learn app inventor, because from there they actually play their role as community resident, to think what are the problem, to see what are the problem at our community actually. So they see this problem, always cannot find parking. So they create an app which integrated with this Arduino. So in the app, you can see if that area got any available parking. So if let's say available, it will show green. So before you reach the place, you can book the parking. Okay, there's a barrier. So you click, you have to pay lah. You have to pay for a booking fee, but it's only hold for 5 minutes. If 5 minutes you didn't come, it allow you to hold another 5 minutes. But then after that you cannot hold. Otherwise, people will hold the parking for 1 hour, half an hour. It will be a waste. So after you reach, it will detect your car, and you click a button at the app. It will open the barrier. Then you can park inside. And then there's a sensor. It's integrated with the Arduino. There's a sensor to detect, or you have your car already parked inside there. And then from there you can pay your parking also. So when you leave the parking, the sensor will detect, okay, the car is already left, and then it will calculate how much you need to pay. You can straight away pay from the app. So in their presentation, they stated this problem that's facing by the community. So their app is meeting the community needs. Sorry, talk too much and a bit itchy throat. Okay, any more question?
I got a question. Okay. How can students build a strong portfolio to impress future employees or clients?
Sorry?
How can students build a strong portfolio to impress future employees and clients?
Oh, okay. To impress future employer and clients. Okay. Now, actually, when you go for interview, okay, um, maybe when you're graduate, you have to learn interview, how to interview, the interview skill. Um, in the current trend, when we interview, of course, we will see the portfolio, we will see the uh, the apps that you have done or any software that you have done. From there, we see the quality of your work, the quality of your work. But because sometimes the project that you all do um, at university is a team project, or sometimes you can't really see it. But of course, from there, we get an idea. But now, more important for employer is some soft skill like leadership, how you solve problem, um, and then how is your teamwork. So you might ask from interview question, how do we know the person teamwork? So that's why now when you interview, you go for interview, uh, the interviewer will ask you some scenario. We give you some scenario where the interviewer want to see your response. So from those response, they will know, because now the interviewer, they also went through some uh, course learning how you interview people. From the interview question you ask, maybe it's a bit different from last time that we just look at the results, look at your projects. It's not 100% based on your result. Why? Because sometimes we actually see student with good result. When you hire them, maybe at school they pay a lot of attention and time at study, which is good, but sometimes lacking of some soft skill, which is very important. For example, leadership, teamwork, or community, problem solving. Yeah. Or sometimes the interviewer will even ask you, uh, like the interviewer asks, what are the, when you do your final projects, what is the biggest problem you face and how you solve it? Yeah, from how you answer this question, actually, the interviewer can see whether you are facing, how you face your problem and how you actually solve it by, sometimes if you say that, oh, I'm getting help from my supervisor or my classmate, it doesn't mean that you are not good. Because when you try to think, when you go to work, when you are given a task that you don't know how to do, you must know how to get help, like do your research, or go and ask. Of course, you are not asking people to do for you, but you go and ask for advice or anything. So from all this, that they will see how you actually carry yourself, and also some soft skill. Some will even give you a scenario that see how you respond to face like sudden problem, to see your reaction, to see your emotionally how you handle it. Yeah, some people say, oh my. Some people, when you ask about his final project, then the person will try, oh, my final project is very stressed. This one I don't know how. I Until I cannot sleep or what, or anything. It's like indirectly it's showing that person cannot handle stress, something like that. So that's why they will ask those questions instead of just looking at your profile and your result. Of course, with good result and your good profile is already given additional points lah. And of course, like, you have to know the current trend. If you go for interview, of course, some interviewer will ask you, maybe ask you whether you are up to date or not, the current trend, you know. Yeah, all this is given the points for your interview also. Okay, no questions. I have 162 questions already, and 162 students. All no questions. I think Mr. Muhammad Ikma, later can we take a group photo before
Yeah,
we
sure,
end?
sure. Yeah.
Before we end. But okay, now I think, okay, since no more questions, we should
Mm-hmm.
go to here. Okay, a summary for our today's talk. All right. Okay, so of course, I hope the hands-on part will give you clearer picture on this MIT app inventor. Yeah, and also the mobile development with the design thinking process, which in MIT app inventor, we actually encourage students when they develop the mobile app, can try to use this design thinking process, um, so that you will have proper steps to follow. Yeah, you will not get lost, or sometimes if you don't follow proper steps, you might going into uh, more extra steps that you can be avoided. Yeah. Okay, and also the current trends across the industry. Okay, and how do we track the industry trends? Actually, through internet. Yeah, and also meeting the people. If let's say you are out from your university, you go to at work, sometimes try to expose yourself, talking with people. Yeah, you will get some uh, the news, the informations. Yeah, but of course the most easier one, as in now everything you can access from the internet. I even have students tell me, teacher, why do we learn at school? Because a lot of things I can know from internet. I Google, then I already know the answer, like what is the boiling point for water. Yeah. So this is also the reason why in standard 6 and standard the form 3, no more exam, but it's very much on the project at school. Now primary school also got a project. Don't be surprised. Then the teacher will judge the student from the project. Yeah. Last time, my time, only university I have projects. Now, even primary school, they will have the group projects, because the soft skill that you need. Because for the young generation, or even for your generations, the skill that you need is no longer listen, reading. Last time is you must able to read, able to listen, right, able to speak. But now is no. You need to be creative. This is very important. You need to be creative. You need to when you have the knowledge already, you know the trend already, you need to think, oh, what are the things that it can be coming up? What are the things that for this trend, creative, and then communications is very important. Like you go interview, you must know how to talk. You must know how to communicate with people because you cannot work alone. You cannot work alone. In any field also you cannot work alone. You have to have interaction with other departments people. Okay. And the collaborations. You need collaboration skill also, how you collaborate with people. Communication and collaborate is actually very important. And these are the soft skill that actually you cannot learn from the books sometimes. You need to get yourself involved in activities, like your university have activities and you see people, you learn how to communicate. Yeah, when you see people, you talk to people. You in another way also you learn how to communicate with people. Right. So these are the important skill for your. So when you come out, you have to remember communicate, collaborate, creative. Okay. All right. So no questions. And okay, thank you very much. Really, really, thank you very much for. I'm very, very happy. Okay, very grateful to see so many of you uh, in today's session. And it's already 10:30. Yeah, this is the first time I run a workshop until 10:30. But I'm very happy. Okay, not sleepy at all. Yeah, I hope next time I will be able to go to your campus. Segamat, right? Your campus is
Yes.
Segamat. Ah,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from Johor. I'm anak Johor also. I'm now located at Seremban, but I'm anak Johor, Johor Bahru. Yes, I'm from Johor Bahru. Yeah, I hope next time I'll be able to see you all in person, physically. Yeah, hopefully. I will be very happy to travel. I always travel. So I travel. I sometimes I do online, because online no boundaries. Yeah. But I do. I'm going to travel to Brunei. Yeah, for a training. For competition judge also. Yeah, for their Shell Brunei the Shell. They have a program for the secondary school student. Yeah. Yeah. I wish. Go to Sekamat, yes. Okay, thank you very much. And yeah, hope you all will have a smooth journey in this your learning on this MIT App Inventor. Yeah, explore yourself more. Like I said, it's really a good tools, a good platform for you to learn mobile app development. Yes. So and yes, feel free, yeah, to keep in touch. Yeah. Puan Shahira, yeah, hope next time I'll be able to go to the campus and maybe we can have a physical session with the students. All right. So thank you very much. So I pass to Encik Muhammad Iqmal.
All right, thank you for Miss Quincy's. Okay, before I conclude, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mrs. Quincy Tan for her unwavering support and invaluable guidance throughout this journey. I also wish to extend my heartfelt expression to our dedicated lecturers whose expertise, passion, and commitment have played a pivotal role in shaping our learning experience. In addition, I am truly thankful to our fellow participants and friends whose presence and active engagement have significantly enriched this webinar. It is our hope that this session has delivered meaningful insights and practical knowledge that will greatly contribute to our continued learning and professional development in the field of mobile application development. May the ideas and experience we have shared today serve as a strong foundation for future innovation and success in this dynamic and ever-evolving technological landscape. Once again, thank you all for your time, attention, and participation. And thank you so much for Mrs. Quincy for the sharing tonight.
Most
Okay, so
welcome.
So everyone, can you all please turn on your camera, and we will
Don't,
like to take a photo together. Alright.
don't run away, Take photo first, okay?
Alright.
Yeah, maybe some students shy to take a
Yes.
photo. Oh, so
Yeah.
many! Hello, so many of you. You're at campus. Okay, okay. The lecturer here, keep quiet. We take a photo. Come, you on your video, but keep quiet. Okay, take a photo. Mana kawan-kawan lain seorang saja? Are you ready?
Okay. Is this
Malu.
all? Yeah, everyone shy.
You turn
So
on computer,
lucky.
but I run away.
Alright, alright. I think you can take it now. Right. Stand by.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, how to screenshot? Okay. So 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, freestyle, freestyle.
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Okay. 1, 2. Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone. Link attendance in the chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Most
Thank you,
welcome.
madam.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
谢谢你。
Oh, 不客气。
Thank you.
Actually, why I like to be in education because I always feel young. I'm not young already. I'm over 40, but when with my students, I feel very young, especially college student. Always, yeah, make me feel like I'm back to college time, young and energetic. So I get recharged also. When I share the knowledge, I get recharged. Win-win. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. So we shall say goodbye here. Hope to see you again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Friendly. Oh, you are very friendly. Okay. Bye.
They are so energetic at this hour.
Yeah. Well, last time during my college time, my uni time also like that. When getting late, it's getting more energetic.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye to you all. Take care.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.